Stillness isn't empty. It's not passive. It's not doing nothing. Stillness is the place where reality decides what it's going to become. If you've been trying to manifest by effort, visualization, or by force, you've been planting seeds in moving water. Nothing will take root there. Most people think manifestation begins with thought, but it doesn't. It begins before thought, in stillness. Stillness is the fertile ground where intention actually lands. Without it, desire stays noisy, scattered, and weak. Today, we're revisiting the eternal now to reveal something simple yet profound. Nothing real is created in motion. Everything is born in presence. Let's begin. Your mind is always producing motion. Ideas, worries, images, reactions. But motion alone doesn't create clarity. It actually creates interference. Stillness quiets the static so the signal can come through. That signal is coherence, when your inner state stops contradicting itself. Manifestation doesn't respond to how much you think. It responds to how aligned you are. And alignment only happens when the mind stops chasing outcomes. The future doesn't create anything. The past doesn't either. Creation happens in the eternal now, and it always has. When you're fully present, you stop leaking energy into imagined timelines. Your awareness gathers. Your nervous system settles. Your perception sharpens. Because in that moment, reality becomes responsive. Stillness doesn't push life. It invites it. Trying to manifest usually comes from lack, and lack vibrates loudly. Stillness dissolves lack by removing the urgency behind desire. You stop asking life to fix something and start allowing it to rearrange itself. The seed doesn't grow because you yell at the soil. It grows because the soil is ready. Stillness is readiness. Let me make something clear. Stillness regulates the nervous system, and reality responds to that. Most people don't realize this, but manifestation is filtered through the nervous system. If your body is tense, rushed, or braced for impact, reality reads that as danger, lack, or instability. No amount of positive thinking overrides a dysregulated system. Stillness tells the body that there is no emergency right now. When the body settles, your perception changes. And when your perception changes, the field you're interacting with changes as well. Reality responds to the state that you're in, not the affirmations that you repeat. Stillness resets the signal at the deepest level. Resistance is invisible effort. It's the subtle tension behind, I need this to happen. It's the tightening that says, not yet, to life while pretending to want change. Stillness dissolves resistance by removing the inner argument with the moment. When you stop fighting what is, you stop blocking what's forming. Manifestation accelerates not when you want harder, but when you stop pushing against the present. Stillness doesn't mean withdrawal from life. It means action that comes from clarity instead of compulsion. When you move after stillness, your actions land cleaner. You say less, but it carries more weight. You do less, but it rearranges more. This is why masters across traditions emphasize silence before movement. Stillness sharpens intention, and a sharp intention cuts through probability cleanly. If nothing seems to be moving in your life, that may not be a delay. It may just be incubation. Stillness isn't the pause before creation. It is the act of creation. When you rest in the now, reality doesn't need instructions. It remembers how to respond. Most people think surrender means giving up, but it doesn't. Surrender is the moment creation actually begins. Everything you're forcing, everything you're gripping, everything you're trying to control into existence, that tension is the very thing blocking the outcome that you want. Today, we're talking about the creative power of surrender, not as weakness, not as passivity, but as the precise inner shift that unlocks intelligence beyond effort. This isn't about doing nothing. It's about stopping the interference. Because life doesn't respond to force. It responds to alignment. Let's begin. Control feels safe to the mind. The ego believes that if it doesn't manage every outcome, something will go wrong. So it plans, it anticipates, it tightens. But here's the truth most people miss. Control is born from fear, not wisdom. When you're controlling, you're operating from the assumption that reality doesn't know what it's doing unless you step in. That assumption puts the mind above the intelligence that's been running galaxies, cells, and time itself without your permission. Control narrows perception. Surrender expands it. Surrender is not quitting. Surrender is releasing resistance to the present moment. It's saying, this moment doesn't need to be different for me to be okay. And the moment you stop arguing with what is, something subtle happens. Your nervous system relaxes. Your perception opens. Your intuition comes online. Creation does not emerge from tension. It emerges from receptivity. The seed doesn't strain to grow. The soil allows it. When you surrender, you stop micromanaging the how. And that's critical, because the mind only knows what it has already seen. The deeper intelligence behind life knows what you haven't even imagined yet. Surrender hands the steering wheel back to that intelligence. That's why the best ideas arrive when you're relaxed. That's why solutions appear when you stop forcing them. That's why clarity shows up after acceptance, not before. Surrender isn't passive. It's collaborative. You show up, and life fills in the gaps. Here's the paradox, though. When you stop trying to make things happen, things start happening. Not because effort is bad, but because effort without surrender becomes friction. Aligned action feels different. It's quiet. It's precise. It doesn't drain you. You don't push the river. You place the boat correctly in it. That's surrender in motion. Surrender doesn't make you smaller. It makes you available. Available to timing. Available to insight. Available to outcomes better than the ones your fear was clinging to. So let go. Not of your intention, but of the struggle that's around it. That's where real creation begins. The harder you try to force life, the more resistance you create. And the more you relax your grip, the faster things begin to move. This is the paradox most people never understand. Non-doing often produces results faster than effort. Not because effort is bad, but because effort born from tension collapses possibility. Today, we're going to dismantle the illusion that doing more is the answer, and reveal why letting go is often the most powerful action you can take. Most people believe progress comes from control, from constant action, from pushing, fixing, managing, and forcing outcomes into place. But if that were true, you'd already be living the life you're chasing. Instead, what actually happens is this. The more you strain, the more reality tightens around you. Non-doing is not laziness. It's not passivity. It's not spiritual bypassing. It is aligned action without internal resistance. And once you understand this, everything changes. Your creativity, your timing, your energy, and your results. Let's begin. When you force an outcome, you are broadcasting one thing clearly. This moment is not enough. That signal creates friction. Your nervous system contracts. Your perception narrows. Your awareness becomes rigid. And when awareness narrows, you stop seeing solutions that are already present. Think about the moments when you've had your best ideas. They didn't arrive while you were straining. They arrived in the shower, on a walk, in stillness, when your mind loosened its grip. Force compresses the field. Relaxation expands it. Reality responds to openness, not pressure. There is an intelligence moving through life that doesn't need your micromanagement. Your heartbeat beats without effort. Your breath knows when to deepen. Wounds heal while you sleep. Creation itself is already in motion. Non-doing is not about stopping action. It's about getting out of the way of what already knows how to move. When you relax, you stop interfering with this intelligence. You don't disappear. You become transparent. And through that transparency, clarity acts faster than control ever could. There is a massive difference between effort and alignment. Effort feels heavy. Alignment feels inevitable. Effort is fueled by fear of loss. Alignment is fueled by trust in flow. When action arises from alignment, it doesn't drain you. It carries you. You still act. You still decide. You still move. but the movement feels clean, precise, and timely. This is why letting go often produces results faster, because you are no longer fighting the current while trying to swim. The mind hates non-doing, because non-doing removes its authority. If you stop forcing, the mind loses its illusion of control, and control has been its survival strategy since the start. But here's the truth. Control doesn't create safety. Awareness does. When you rest into awareness, you see more. You feel more. You respond instead of react. The mind resists because it fears irrelevance. But when you stop obeying it blindly, it finally relaxes into its proper role. A tool, not a tyrant. This is where most people misunderstand everything. Letting go is not quitting. It is not surrendering your power. It is not abandoning responsibility. Letting go is releasing unnecessary tension. You still care. You still participate. You just stop gripping the outcome like it's fragile. And paradoxically, when you stop squeezing life, it moves toward you. Opportunities surface. Timing improves. Synchronicities multiply. Not because you forced them, but because you finally allowed them. Non-doing is not the absence of action. It is action without resistance. It is trust without passivity. Movement without strain. Creation without collapse. When you stop trying to dominate reality, you begin cooperating with it. And cooperation always outpaces control. So let go. Not because you're weak, but because you're ready to move faster with less friction. Nothing truly new is created through force. Nothing lasting is born from tension. The most powerful movements in reality arise from absolute stillness. Before every star ignites, there is silence. Before every thought forms, there is awareness. And before every creation appears in your life, there is a moment where nothing is happening. That moment is not empty. It is pregnant with possibility. Today, we're returning to the eternal now. Not as a concept, but as the creative engine behind all manifestation. Most people believe creation requires effort, visualization, repetition, and control. They try to bend reality with willpower. But reality does not respond to strain. It responds to alignment. Stillness is not passivity. It is the point where perception stops interfering and creation moves on its own. In this video, we'll explore why stillness is the birthplace of form, why the present moment is the only place creation can occur, and how learning to rest in awareness allows life to reorganize itself through you. Let's begin. Stillness is often misunderstood as doing nothing. But stillness is not inactivity. It is non-interference. When the mind quiets, reality doesn't stop. It accelerates. Every creative process, biological, psychological, or cosmic, begins in a state of coherence. No resistance, no noise, no fragmentation. When you are mentally still, you stop injecting distortion into the field. You stop telling life what it should be and allow it to express what is becoming. The universe does not require your effort. It requires your clarity. Creation does not happen in the past. It does not happen in the future. It happens only now. The past is memory. The future is imagination. Only the present has energetic substance. When your attention is scattered across regret and anticipation, you are nowhere. When your attention rests fully here, you're at the source. This is why presence feels powerful. It's not mystical. It's structural. Reality responds to where awareness is anchored. The more fully you inhabit the now, the less resistance exists between intention and form. Force is contraction. Creation is expansion. When you try to manifest through effort, you signal lack. When you strain, you imply something is missing. Stillness sends the opposite signal. I am complete. I am receptive. I am available. The field responds accordingly. This is why the greatest insights arrive when you stop trying to think. Why solutions appear in silence. Why clarity comes when you surrender the search. Creation does not obey demand. It follows resonance. When the mind quiets, inner fragmentation dissolves. Thoughts synchronize. Emotions soften. Perception sharpens. In this state, you stop reacting and begin responding. Response is creation. Reaction is repetition. Stillness allows you to see clearly enough to choose differently. And different choices create different worlds. Not through effort, but through awareness. Living from stillness does not mean withdrawing from life. It means moving from clarity instead of compulsion. You speak less, but more precisely. You act less, but more effectively. You want less and receive more. Because when you stop chasing outcomes, you align with the intelligence already arranging them. This is not spiritual bypassing. It is mastery of perception. Creation does not require struggle. It requires presence. The eternal now is not a place you visit. It is the ground you stand on when you stop running. When you rest in stillness, life moves through you without resistance. And what emerges is not forced. It's inevitable. You don't become something new by chasing it. You become it by being it before the world confirms it. Most people try to change their life by forcing action, effort, and control. But real transformation happens before movement, in the quiet shift of identity. If you've been pushing, striving, and feeling stuck, this video will show you why being always comes before becoming. We live in a culture obsessed with outcomes. Who you'll be, what you'll achieve, and what you'll finally arrive as. But almost no one is taught the most important truth about change. Reality doesn't respond to who you want to become. It responds to who you are being right now. Today, we're talking about the art of being, the internal posture that reshapes your life long before visible results appear. Let's begin. Most people have it backward. They think, once my life changes, then I'll feel confident. Once I succeed, then I'll feel peaceful. Once I'm healed, then I can finally relax. But becoming is not the cause. It's the effect. Every version of you that ever manifested started as a subtle internal state. A way you stood in the world. A way you breathed. A way you responded instead of reacted. Before the job, the relationship, the clarity, or the freedom, there was a being state that allowed it. If your inner posture hasn't shifted, no amount of action will hold. Being is not pretending. It's not affirmation shouted over doubt. It's not acting confident while bracing inside. Being is how you inhabit yourself when no one is watching. It's the difference between moving through the world with tension and moving through it with quiet permission. You can feel it instantly. One version of you is braced, waiting, or trying to prove something. The other is settled, open, and present. That second state doesn't try to become anything. It allows becoming to unfold naturally. This is why forced change collapses, because it's built on tension instead of alignment. Stillness isn't passive. It's where the nervous system stops arguing with reality. When you stop chasing the next version of yourself, something powerful happens. Your breath deepens, your perception widens, and your sense of self softens. And in that softness, your identity shifts. You stop asking, "How do I become?" and start embodying, "This is who I am now." Stillness isn't waiting for life. It's letting life reorganize around your presence. The field around you is always listening, not to your words, but to your state. Wanting sends tension. Being sends coherence. When you are calm, opportunities approach you differently. When you are grounded, people feel it without explanation. When you are whole, reality mirrors wholeness. This is why effort alone never works. The world responds to what you broadcast consistently, not what you desire occasionally. Be first. Become later. This isn't dramatic. It's not flashy. It's quiet. It's choosing presence over urgency. Identity over outcome. Embodiment over effort. And once that shift happens, becoming stops feeling like work and feels inevitable. You don't need to chase the next version of yourself. You need to inhabit this one fully. Because when you master the art of being, becoming follows naturally, without force, without strain, and without collapse. Stillness isn't delay. Presence isn't stagnation. They are the doorway through which everything real arrives. Most people believe movement creates change, but every true transformation in your life was born in silence. Not the silence of emptiness, the silence of origin. Before thought forms, before intention appears, before desire takes shape, there is a still point where reality listens. Today, we're entering that point because the mind that learns to rest in silence becomes the force that moves the universe. Silence is misunderstood. It's treated like absence, a pause between thoughts, a gap between words, a nothing waiting to be filled. But silence is not empty. Silence is the field from which everything emerges. When the mind becomes quiet, reality doesn't stop. It reorganizes. When thought dissolves, intelligence doesn't vanish. It deepens. And when you stop trying to control life, life begins to move through you. This video isn't about escaping the world. It's about touching the source that creates it. Silence is not passive. It is primordial. We've been conditioned to believe silence means inactivity. But take a look at nature. The seed grows in darkness. The stars form in vast emptiness. The body heals in rest, not in exertion. Silence is not the opposite of power. It is the womb of power. When your mind is constantly narrating, labeling, reacting, and predicting, you are interacting with the surface of reality. But when the mind falls quiet, you enter the architecture beneath appearance. This is where creation actually occurs. The universe itself did not emerge from noise. It emerged from a stillness collapsing into motion. When you learn to be silent internally, you align with the same principle that forms galaxies. The still mind is not the thinking mind. Most people mistake thinking for intelligence. But thinking is reactive. It's memory recycling itself into imagined futures. The still mind is different. It doesn't analyze. It perceives. It doesn't chase outcomes. It responds accurately. It doesn't push reality. It moves with it. In stillness, insight appears without effort. You don't figure things out. They reveal themselves. This is why the deepest realizations come in moments of quiet, like in the shower, on a walk, or during meditation, or even in those rare pauses when the mind finally stops interfering. The still mind isn't blank. The still mind is awake. Silence is the gateway to right action. But here's the paradox. When the mind stops forcing action, action becomes effortless. When you act from mental noise, you overcorrect. You hesitate. You second guess. You move too early or too late. But action that arises from silence is precise. It's not rushed. It's not emotional. It's not compulsive. It happens at exactly the right moment, because it's guided by alignment, not anxiety. This is why ancient traditions valued stillness above strategy. Because silence doesn't remove action, it refines it. So why does silence feel uncomfortable at first? If silence is so powerful, why do most people avoid it? Because silence removes distraction, and distraction is how the ego survives. In silence, unresolved emotions surface. Old beliefs lose momentum. False identities weaken. The mind resists silence because silence exposes the truth. But if you stay with it, without trying to fix, label, or escape, something remarkable happens. The noise dissolves on its own, and beneath it, you discover something steady, calm, and deeply intelligent that was never disturbed to begin with. The universe moves when you stop forcing it. The deepest lesson of silence is this: you are not the doer. Life is not waiting for you to control it. It's waiting for you to cooperate with it. When your mind quiets, you stop blocking the natural intelligence already moving through you. Ideas arrive without strain. Decisions feel obvious. Timing synchronizes. Not because you manifested harder, but because you stopped resisting the flow. Silence doesn't make you passive. It makes you available. Silence is not something you achieve. It's something you remember. It's always here, behind every thought, behind every emotion, prior to every identity. You don't need to hold it. You don't need to maintain it. You only need to stop abandoning it. Because the still mind doesn't escape the universe. It moves it. And the moment you trust silence, life begins to move with clarity, precision, and grace. If this journey spoke to you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone ready to experience life beyond thought. Comment below. When was the last time you allowed true silence, without trying to fill it? I read every comment. If you would like to support my work directly, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/magnumopus333. Or you can explore some original merchandise at my Teespring store online. The link is in the description below. Remember, your consciousness is the key that unlocks reality. Let's keep unlocking it together. Thank you for watching. Until next time.